Hey guys, this is Reproductions, aka Nana 4673, and I am back in a new game. You can see it on the title screen. It's the second Reproduction. Hallelujah. The reason for me actually playing this now, even though I haven't made a voting video or anything like it, I was looking for a game to play alongside Nameless. And I decided to play this because I've got 557 fucking subscribers, and I'm terrified. So just saying, yeah. So we're gonna play this game because this was also suggested quite a lot, but Nameless one, of course, but it's still kind of suggested. And yeah. Pretty sure we're going for Goddess, this lovely sexy demon lord, and it's gonna be awkward at some point, as I said. So I think I'm gonna, as I've mentioned, so I think I'm gonna rate this 13 plus, maybe 16 plus. I don't know, dude. But I don't know. I don't remember anything about this game at all. So, but if it gets a bit suggestive, I'll hide under my table and warn you. So yeah, we're just gonna go. Yeah. Do you want to skip the opening scene? Nope, thank you. Why? The silvery light of the moon bathed upon my palms as a warm, damp sensation crawled along my fingers. The droplets had such a bright, vivid hue that it seemed like the only color allowed in this monotone world. From the corner of my blank mind, dark feelings flooded into me. Isn't this strange? I couldn't have. Oh, beautiful city of Almanan. A city blessed by the rain gods and the emblem of the sun god's resting place. The serene tune of the harp brought music to the sunlit courtyard, accompanied by a beautiful voice. I reached for my teacup and drank, quietly enjoying the music as I savored the tea's flavor. After slowly finishing my drink, I placed it onto a white marble table and glanced towards the two talented yet beautiful girls before me. The girl on the right, dressed in dark green, wore her wavy flax-colored hair down to her waist. The other wore her glimmering silver hair in a bun, with loose strands resting on her shapely bosom. The glittering decorations she wore, along with the golden harp her fingers danced across, made her glamour undeniable. Witnessing such a heavenly scene without having to pay so much as a penny made me feel like the luckiest person alive. As I engrossed myself in the calm atmosphere, a sharp call brought me back to my senses. Hey, Chris, are you listening? Christina! Oh, sorry. You were playing such nice music, I couldn't hear you. Oh, dear Celeste, please remember that you are a lady. You shouldn't shout in such an unrefined manner. While cheating Celeste, she politely placed her hands in front of her dress and sat down. The girl named Celeste pouted in displeasure and retorted, "But Vienna, I'm only going out of my way to sing because Chris said she wanted to listen." "Don't be silly. Chris is still exhausted from her previous battle. Wouldn't she rather take a nap?" And just like that, they started to argue. Still, they were both undeniably beautiful. In contrast, my appearance was to the blah 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 that I couldn't be possibly called feminine anymore. Simply put, I was in my military uniform. I didn't tie my hair into a bun like Celeste, I just left it down. It looked slightly curly, but that was its natural shape. I've never bothered making an effort when it comes to hair care either. Even though they were both my sisters, our differences in appearance saddened me from time to time. You think so too, don't you, Chris? Chris! Hmm? Yeah, I was listening to the songs you were playing. I wasn't taking an ab or anything. We're not talking about that. Those demons interfered in the subjugation of a few days ago, didn't they? Sickening creatures like them should just die. All of them. Apparently, excuse me, the topic changed without me realizing. Sorrow clouded the expression of our eldest sister. Stop pop-up windows of our eldest sister Fiona as she heard Celeste's words. Celeste, everyone has the right to live regardless of who they are. And the same applies for demons. We have never ever seen them in person, so why would we despise them so much? If Mother were to hear that, she'd be furious and label you as a traitor again. Honestly, why are you so protective of those horrible things? I don't get you at all. Come on, Christina, help me knock some sense into her. You fought those things before, right? Tea. Celeste's disgust was understandable. Humans and demons had been at war with each other for a long time. Because they were blessed by the moon goddess Lunaria, the demons' race powers were completely different to ours. Lunaria was a goddess who stood against the sun god whom us humans worshipped. The demons were a ruthless, bloodthirsty race. Nothing but savages who indulged themselves in pleasure and always stood against us. Although, according to the history books, humans and demons lived together over 1,000 years ago. But nothing resembling such peace remained today. Instead, champions were called upon to rid the world of the demon lords, regarding by many to be the main cause of the bad luck and misfortune. And now, only one demon lord remained. They're dangerous, but those demons... Oh, Chris, there you are. A woman with misty grey eyes and long silvery hair called out to me. Her black dress was wrapped around her elegant form, and an almost holy radiance flowed out from her. My deepest apologies, Your Majesty. Have you been searching for me? There is no need to be so courteous, well, whatever. It has been a long time since my daughters gathered together, so please just call me Mother. I will. The person whom we called Her Majesty is Hilaris the Eighth, both Queen of Almanan and our mother. Naturally, we three sisters possessed the status of what many people called a princess. Every time I was reminded of that, I couldn't help but curse the heavens for not being born a prince. The second daughter, Celeste, was praised for her heavenly singing voice and was often compared to the divine bird Lamé. Whereas, the eldest daughter, Fiona, was recognized worldwide as a skilled harpist. I, however, didn't have any special skills that could be considered ladylike. I'd been tone deaf since childhood. Whenever I tried to sing, the birds would drop dead to my feet. And whenever I played the harp, its strings would snap from the strength I possessed. There was no way a noble from any kingdom could take a liking to someone like me, let alone propose marriage. However, God took pity on me and allowed me to discover a talent for something completely unexpected. Back when I was 9 years old, my mother often watched me as I played with a toy sword. From my jabs and movements, she came to a realization of sorts and decided to raise me as a champion. I guess it was a good thing in the end. I felt like I could finally relax, and my daily life felt satisfying and natural. Though, sometimes I relaxed a bit too much and got scolded by the head knight. Oh, that's right. Celeste, we've found you a husband. Eh? The word husband startled the three of us. Ignoring our reactions, mother continued. The ceremony will be held in a month's time. You'll be marrying the King of Roland. The King of Roland? Mother, please wait. The King of Roland is 50 years older than her. How could he and Celeste possibly... A marriage between your royal families is nothing but a contract. If she wants a younger man, she can always have an affair. Mother, how can you say... No objections. Princesses are nothing more than diplomatic tools, after all. You too, Fiona. You should go out and make friends with a few kings. Celeste, wait! Celeste ran away, her eyes brimming with tears. Fiona quickly gave chase, which left me alone in the courtyard with Mother. Unsure of what to say, I simply bowed. Mother. Yes? We all know that marriage is nothing but a convenience, but there is no need to phrase it so harshly. Don't worry, you won't be married off to some old king. I want you by my side, serving me forever. I don't know why, but the way my mother acted around my sisters was completely different to how she acted around me. Though I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy it. I secretly took pride in getting special treatment. I'm sorry, I gotta move the chair. But recently there's been a tinge of fear glimmering in my mother's eyes. I couldn't look at them anymore. I was sure it wasn't Mother's eyes that had changed, but me. I'd grown up. I was no longer a naive little girl, but I'm an adult. I saw things differently. I see things differently now. Chris, you're the only one I can trust. But with those same lips, she could order any number of cruel and ruthless deaths she wanted. Mother was praised by her people for being a kind and something queen, but it was common knowledge that she'd crush any opposing army in a heartbeat, leaving none alive to bear witness. We had a loyal minister who'd once served us for a long time who made a mistake of objecting to Her Majesty's political measures. He was later accused of treason. I still don't know where all the evidence against him came from. He was really suspicious. But even so... Yes, Mother. I live only to serve you. I did love my mother, and I was just as afraid of her leaving me. So, Mother, why were you looking for me? Oh, yes, I remember now. I came here to request something. No, actually, this is an order. A secret task that only you can do. A secret task, you say? What could it... I assume you know about the destruction of Crofts? I do, yes. A pitiful kingdom that was burned to the ground by Deathrite. I saw it with my own eyes when I visited the place. Deathrite, the only demon kingdom left, used to be an isolation. But one day they suddenly attacked and destroyed an island kingdom across the sea. I could still see the carnage whenever I closed my eyes. There were no witnesses. We only knew it was demon due to the marks left on the weapons. It was demons due to the marks left on the weapons and flags among the rubble. Croft's actions before the incident also helped us join the dots. Honestly, it was really unnecessarily brutal. I know the Kingdom of Crofts broke their contract with the first demon, Lady Risty, but for such a calamity to befall them so soon after becoming neutral. And now all the kingdoms all over the world have decided to take action against Deathrite. Even the Kingdom of Roland will soon join the chase. So that's why Celeste is marrying the King of Roland. Mother's dream of unifying the kingdoms and gaining true peace might actually come true. Thus, Chris. Yes? I want you to infiltrate Deathrite and assassinate the Demon Lord Goddess before our allied forces attack. If you succeed, the demon army will be in chaos, thus something our casualties and easing the victory. That's... King Goddess, the demon lord of Deathrite, possessed a terrifying amount of magical power. Oh, gotta take a break. Right, I'm back after a tiny break. I just read that. He'd completely annihilated every army that threw itself at his country. He was the main reason why Deathrite was still standing. If we deployed our army and attacked him head on, he'd burn every single soldier to death. He was too dangerous in secret warfare, and that's why I had to infiltrate, death ride, and assassinate him. I had to. There is no better time than now to do it. Oh, Christina, our champion, I beg of you, bring peace to this world. Your wish is my command. I, Christina Ransard, vow upon the name of the royal family of Almanan to defeat the heinous demon lord. Very beautiful. I was aware of how dangerous my mission would be. With only the minimum of number of troops backing me up, there was a chance I wouldn't be able to visit my homeland again. But despite that, the fate of the world rested on my shoulders, and it was my duty to see it through. I couldn't sing, and I always broke harps when I tried to play them. If all I could do was raise my sword and fight, then I'd gladly die doing it. Well said, you truly are my daughter. Mother caressed my cheek, praising my courage. I let myself relax, feeling a soft sense of happiness emerge within me. And yet, her hands felt so cold. Princess! As I hurried to my room, a familiar face came rushing towards me. He came to a stop and gasped, trying to catch his breath. My tense expression relaxed. Lisette, is it true that you're leaving tomorrow? Yeah, I am. I need some time to relax. You train harder than everyone else. Whether it's snowing, baking hot, hurricane, force winds. But now you want to go on a holiday? Well, yeah. I'm an adult now. It's about time I started looking after myself a bit more. Aren't you younger than me? Honestly, I was awful at lying, and I was making my night suspicious just as I thought. Lisette was looking straight at me, trying to unravel my secrets. I knew I'd find it tough. I just can't lie to Lisette. Lisette was appointed my knight 3 years ago. He was a mere soldier until then. But by complete accident, we ended up fighting side by side on the battlefield one day. His skill and talent impressed me, so I quickly appointed him my knight. Lisette stood up by my side ever since, and we trusted each other completely. We were just friends, though. We weren't attracted to each other. Our trust transcended even that. He got friend-zoned. So, where is this place? Must be somewhere important if you can't even tell your number one knight about it. Princess, it's a date, you moron. Shouldn't that be obvious? You're joking, right? You're the princess. Blind to anything that even resembling romance is going on at... Perhaps. Watch your tongue, Lisette. My apologies, so, who are you dating? There's no way I'm telling you that. It's too embarrassing. More like an embarrassing excuse, but it was the only way I could fool Lisette. Feeling awkward, I lowered my head, unsure of what to say. Maybe he'd mistaken my stuttering for the flusters of a girl in love, because Lisette simply sighed and said, what a relief. You're finally acting like a normal girl. About time to. You're really stepping over your boundaries. Well, I'll be cheering on you regardless. Show him what you got. Thanks. What a girl needs is courage. When in doubt, just charge straight ahead, and it'll all go fine. Lisette clenched his fist in front of his chest, cheering me on. But seeing him do that made a sharp pain jolt through my own. To be honest, I felt bad the moment I saw him. I wanted to tell him the truth and let him come with me. Sorry, but Lisette was more than just a knight to me. I couldn't drag my precious friend and retainer through the jaws of death. If someone has to die, let it be me, and me alone. Ever since I became a champion, I decided this fact that I would die alone. Princess? Tea? Oh, it's nothing. Don't worry. I just feel a bit sad knowing I won't see you for a while. A bit, huh? Oh, yeah, don't forget me to buy. Don't forget to buy me some souvenirs, okay? What kind of knight asks a princess for souvenirs? You're a princess and I'm a knight. Her Highness Princess Christina's knight. So to be exact, I'd be a failure as your retainer if I couldn't ask something that outrageous. You're right. Of course, you'd be a bit weird. You're my knight after all. Oh, Lisette? This might be the last time we ever talk. Lisette's expression grew serious as I thought of that. I tilted my head in confusion. What was he thinking? But before I could even open my mouth... What? Without warning, Lisette playfully jabbed his fingers between my eyebrows. I couldn't get angry in time. His weird behavior left me speechless. I blinked, unsure of what to do. He gazed at me for a while, then gave a heavy sigh. Jeez, I don't get him at all. Never mind, I give up. Huh? Well, have a safe trip. Have fun on your date too. Maybe it was my imagination, but he seemed kind of lonely when he said that. I watched him turn around and leave. It felt so weird to be a proper farewell. It was probably the last time we'd ever talked too. I wanted to chase after him and talk a little longer. But I needed to get going. I'd talk to him forever if I let myself. I slightly bid him farewell as his figure vanished into the corridor. I slapped my cheeks with both hands, regaining determination, and began to walk away. This might be the last time I ever see this place. If my sisters overheard me, I would have been told off for being too morbid. And if I told them where I was going and why, they would have done everything in their power to stop me. Because of our ruthless and unreasonable mother, a strong bond has formed between the three of us. As I glanced towards the sky, the full moon shone down at me with breathtaking beauty. There wasn't a single trace of mist in the air, so the statues in front of the castle gate were clear and crisp. There stood the something-crested sculpture of Lemay, the divine bird that symbolized Almanan. Its eyes gazed in my direction, as though watching me, over me before I left the castle. I pray that my soul will create the foundation that will someday lead to a brighter future. After praying quietly, I turned and stepped into the paved road. But just before I left the castle, having your first day at night is pretty thrilling, isn't it? I turned around at the familiar voice and my eyes flew open in shock. Leaning against the castle gate with a playful smile on his face was Lisette! Are you planning on leaving me behind? That really would make me feel lonely, you know. What are you doing? You weren't acting like yourself, so I became worried. What do you mean by that? I never did anything. You never notice, Princess. Whenever you lie, you always give yourself away. What? How? If I tell you how, then you'll just correct it, won't you? Then I won't be able to tell. Maybe you're just imagining things. Don't deny it. I asked Her Majesty about this, and she told me everything. He really is fearless. Even so, I can't take you with me. And why is that? I am your #1 knight, Princess, and if you found other knights who are far more then please grant me my death. What? My sword, my life, my body, they're all dedicated to you, Princess. If I am not needed for such an important quest, then I am worth nothing more than dust. Please, my princess, if you have even a trace of pity within you, then kill me, right now. You picked me up out of nothing, so please, now that I am no longer of use to you, return me to nothing. No, I can't. I want you to live. But please, you must accept my decision. No, I refuse. I will never accept that. No matter where you go, Princess, I, Lisette, will always be by your side. Lisette? Shall we get going then? We haven't gone on a journey like this in a long time. Isn't it nostalgic? Always reminds me of that hellish training we did last year, remember? Fine, I give up. Have you ever heard a knight winning an argument against his princess? Are you going to punish me for being disrespectful? You'd like that. Yeah, when we get back, you're getting the 100 dumplings punishment. The 100 what? That's the number of dumplings you'll be treating me to when I visit the town outside the castle. That many? And I wish you wouldn't keep sneaking out of the castle like that. Please put yourself in my shoes for a moment and understand how much trouble I get into. Well, you are my knight after all. Isn't a punishment like that appropriate? Yeah, you're right. We smiled and looked into each other's eyes with determination. Come back alive, Lisette. I will definitely not let you die. That's my line. No matter what happens and whatever we may encounter, I will definitely protect you, my princess. We will return to the kingdom altogether. Yes, I swear on my sword. He nodded. Death-Ride Mountain was already peeking above the horizon as we set off together. I truly believe we were walking the road towards true peace. But little did I know of the cruel fate awaiting me. That's all for now. I'm gonna go back. I'll be back in the next episode. I'll see you. Bye!